Okay, so for, let's say today itself, you are to acquire a business, right? What would be the top consideration that you think any entrepreneurs should have when they buy over businesses?
I would say the viability to scale and grow.
Okay.
You know, some businesses are very good at what they do, but they are stuck after a certain growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's virtually no way to expand.
Correct.
Or maybe opportunity cost can be very high if you want to expand.
No?
Perhaps look into, you know, the manpower issues as well that business may have. Would it translate to yourself when you take over the business? Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think is very important for any acquiring entrepreneurs wannabe?
Personally, I do feel that one obviously has to be profitable at the point of time if you take over. If it's not, then there must be a reason why you specifically feel like you can turn it around.
Got it.
But have a passion in the business that you're acquiring.
Correct.
Yeah, I've known many business owners who just invest or, you know, they dump money to acquire, but they have totally no interest in the industry at all.
Sure.
Yeah, so they leave it to people to run with no industrial knowledge.
Correct.
Or no industry knowledge. Yeah, and that's where things start to fall apart because, you know, he or she doesn't even know the day-to-day operations, how it should be done, whether is it moving along the right direction, how to lead the company to grow.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. So for yourself right now, at this stage in Media Unbox, what is the biggest challenge that you face in terms of like operating this business?
I would say competition from agencies who do not know the value of marketing.
Sure.
Yeah. I think over some time, especially this year when I was doing my own ads, you know, obviously ads from competitors starts to come up. I've collaborated with agencies as well, to be frank.
Sure.
We have agencies who work with us and we work with agencies who we don't see ourselves as competitors, rather than we can complement each other in that particular assignment. But then I see the rise of agencies who, be it small or maybe like, you know, 5 or 9 man team.
Sure.
Where they are actually undervaluing the amount of effort being put into marketing, especially social media, because, you know, there's AI now. And then they come up with services or service fee that is so low that we found it impossible to compete. So rather than competing with them, then we have to learn or see how to pivot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these days there is always this group of companies in any industry that goes by market penetration approach. Low pricing,
just to have quantity.
Yes, and when, I mean, maybe for that is a volume game, right?
Yes.
The high customer turnover and so on.
Yes, correct.
So yeah, totally get it.
Yeah.
I do understand that presently, like right now, you are also looking into a few new projects right now.
Yes.
Are you able to share more about it?
Well, so I linked up with an East Africa founder about 2 weeks back. He had this whole concept roadmap, you know, and as well as deck and video all set up for a mental wellness and tech platform. I think what he needed was that he doesn't really understand the local, like the SG market or Southeast Asian market. So he wanted someone who is local in Singapore.
Sure.
To be his co-CEO, so that we can then look into raising funds. At the same time, we just onboard the CTO, so he's also working on looking at, you know, the user journey. You know, is there anything to tweak or change? And then perhaps when we have some funds, also to work on the MVP itself. Yeah, but I would say that this particular niche that he's looking at is definitely something very much needed in Singapore as well as Southeast Asia. We do know the rising need of young adults who needs to have a safe space, who are seeking really professional help when it comes to mental wellness. Yeah, be it at their workplace or if they just graduate. So this is something that the platform aims to feed that particular gap in our country. So,
based on your observation, what do you think catalyzed the need for such mental support for our local population? Is it because you find that Singapore is getting it's so competitive, or is it because our social structure itself?
I think everyone is still running the rat's race, right? We have
Yeah.
all heard it. Graduates who have really studied and put in the effort, people who are, aiming for paper qualification in order to get their dream jobs, only to come out and find that I'm competing with a whole host of other people. And it's not easy. It's very stressful given the pace of our life, our ever rising, cost of living. So I think with all this stress or all these stresses, it definitely trigger, people who are already naturally anxious, or maybe who have gone through a lot of stress throughout their studies to coming out to work, to a state where they feel that they need help.
Got it.
Of course, there are those that are, I would say, maybe throughout their teenagehood and studies, have a lot of stress on their parents as well.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and then in turn they internalize that kind of expectations on themselves.
Sure.
Yes, yeah.
I can imagine, Asian parents.
Yes.
Yeah, like the kiasu
you must have as many tuition as possible, as many start as young as possible with your brain training or activities or correct, all sorts.
Yeah, I can imagine. I guess sometimes it's the parents' expectation, whatever unrealized dreams that they have, they try to transfer.
Yeah, they try to let the child fulfill the dreams for them.
Yeah, it can be stressful to be a kid these days, right?
I've spoken to children who are in their early teens, and they told me that they are taking up courses or taking up, say for example, violin, and they're not even interested in it.
Oh my.
And I ask them, are they happy doing it? And they look up and they just, I have to do it. Yeah. It's because it's instructions from my parents, or it's because my mom wants me to do it, Yeah, so they have never really, or rather if you really look into their eyes, they don't really want to do it. They're not even interested in that particular instrument. Yeah, but because they are told to do it, and because it's not a ask, it's I would rather say it's a demand or a top-down instruction from the parents, then they will do it. Yeah,
I can imagine.
They will do it just to please their parents. For they're young.
Yeah, KPI, right?
Correct, yeah.
Parents, you see that? You heard that? Yeah, parents? Don't do that, okay?
I'm different.
Don't do that, okay? It's a no-no, okay? Yeah. So okay. Can you share with me, like right now in Media Unbox itself, how many employees do you have right now?
Currently across Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and we have a new teammate coming in Vietnam. We have about 18 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you grow it within a span of
4 years.
Wow. Okay. Well done. Well done.
It's tough. Tough to maintain, or rather to maintain the size, and also to maintain to recruit the right talents. Yeah.
Got it. So I do recall that you have another pet project that you are looking into. Would you like to share that?
So my passion has always been, I'm a big time animal lover since young. I've taken care or had pets of all sorts. Frogs, chicks, hamsters, rabbits, you name it. Yeah. Except for cats and dogs. Yeah. Because my mom was against cats and dogs, and then I think she's quite a neat freak. She likes everything tidy, no fur at home. So I could only go with pets when I moved in at 7 that I could keep in a tank or I could contain it somehow. Yeah, but being an animal lover was something in me. I don't know, it's just something since young. Yeah. And I think when I started to have my own dogs in my 30s, and now I have a second one, I have started to realize that there's this ever-growing demand in pets industry. In Singapore, in Thailand, we're looking at like Southeast Asia, major growth year on year, like 7.01%. Yeah, and I feel like all the tools that have been coming out, all the platforms that's been coming out with AI has never been targeted in this industry. Yeah, it's just strangely, sorely looked over because maybe they think the e-commerce shops are doing well enough. You know, so this particular pet and tech project, I wanted to make the animals the center of the universe. So the pets are going to be the most important thing in this platform.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. I can imagine. I mean, these days there are like less people having kids.
Yes.
They transfer their attention to having pets.
Yes.
I mean, pets are more manageable, right?
Yes and no. I guess we spend as much money and time on them as we would with a child.
Sure.
I mean, I've known pet owners who hire helpers full time just to take care of their pets while they're at work.
Nice.
You know, I don't think it's any different from how you take care of a child these days versus our parents in the past, right?
Got
you know,
it.
my grandma has this black dog that is basically free roaming.
Okay.
I won't even call it our pet because he's free to go anywhere and come back for food, and he lives out in the streets. Yeah, but that is those days.
Got it.
Yeah.
So back to which about this pet project, would you like to share more like what you're looking at right now?
Yeah, so we have also just onboarded our CTO, very brilliant guy, and we are definitely moving into incorporation this month, and we are aiming for our MVP to be out within a month as well.
Nice. So
Yeah.
what will your MVP do?
Well, I think the main whole point of having the proof of concept MVP out is to show the investors that I've been talking to, or potential investors I've been talking to at least have a play at the platform, to understand the platform a bit better, help them visualize what it does. Because I think of late, with the many people I've been meeting, there are definitely a certain amount of interest in wanting to seed fund this particular pet and tech project.
Sure.
But what they're all looking for is an MVP and proof of concept. Yeah, so we definitely need to iron out, say, our UI, get our MVP out, have the investors have a go at the platform or the app so that they can visualize better, where it's going to go. And I think that is what the investors are waiting next, so that they can decide if they want to put funds into this particular project.
Got it. So for any interested parties
Yes.
who are keen to learn more about your business,
Yes.
Is there any website or is there any...
Oh yes, we do have a landing page.
You do have a landing page, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So I will include the landing page URL on the bottom of the description on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
So Adonsia, before we move on to the final stage, will you be able to share one thing? For any employees who are keen to own a profitable business on the side, what would you recommend them? Or what advice would you give to them?
I would say, first of all, really plan, strategize, look at your financial goals.
Sure.
Don't go into something just because you are excited about and then financially it's going to strain yourself.
Sure.
Look at the numbers, do your due diligence.
Sure.
Perhaps also try to look for mentors or coach who are successful business owners who have exited from successful ones as well, to just guide you along the way because you're new to it. As much as possible, try not to have too many opinions. Like ask your friends, your friend A, friend B, your families and everyone coming with different opinions, because sometimes it may sway you, or sometimes it may blur your vision as to like what is your final goal. So I would say be very clear with the final goal. Talk to the right people.
Got it. Yeah, it makes sense. So, okay. So back to which, in your opinion itself, you mentioned earlier on about like know your numbers, right? When it comes to knowing your numbers itself, is there any so-called simple formula that you think that anyone can adopt? Like any numbers that if they want
Simple
to make any
formula.
improvement, yeah.
Well, I mean, there is no like one hard fast formula. I would say you would definitely need to know from maybe the business in terms of their profit or maybe revenue, work out maybe at least your 3 or 5 year financial projections.
Got it.
Yeah.
3 to 5 years financial projection.
Yes.
Okay. I would say that would be the cash flow portion of it.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Got it. Okay. So Then last but not the least, is there anyone who has inspired you in the past? Are you able to share more about this person?
Okay, so I have this friend. I didn't tell her I'm going to say this, but I've known her for many years. From actually her husband to her. Her name is Beatrice. When I first spoke to her, she was actually just doing like a bit of marketing freelance stuff, if I'm not wrong, for a TCM clinic in Jurong. They soon become fast friends, the head physician and her, right? And I think her take was, if I don't grow your business, then I don't have a stake in this. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Correct. So within a year or two, she managed to grow. She managed to not only stabilize the clinic, she managed to smoothen out the processes within the clinic. She managed to eventually digitalize the way it should be run. And now I think they have, I'm not sure if 3 or 4 locations, one in a prime location in Orchard. But the thing was, the head physician or the business owner was so impressed with her that she decided to give her a share in the business.
Nice.
Yeah. And that was how it all started for her. You know, and since then I think she has gone up to various talks, various corporate talks. She has been invited to, to different entrepreneur shows or dinners. And I think she is really doing very well in what she is doing now. Yeah, and yet at the same time, she managed to find the right balance for herself and her family.
So, if there's anything that you think that anyone should learn from her, what would that be?
I would say the willingness to take risks and tenacity. Yeah. I mean, it was a risk for her to move from a high-paying corporate job to just let me do something for you, and try to see if I can improve your business. Only then you give me shares, right? Yeah. And she's also, at the stage of she just got married, setting up a family and stuff like that. And it was just something that she decided that she really wants to do, and she wants to show that she can do it. Not proving to the world, but herself. And I believe she has inspired a lot of people around her, a lot of women around her as well.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should go and ask her to appear.
Yes.
So okay. That will be pretty much what we have to discuss for today. And your story has been great.
Thank
you. So I think that a lot of people could have take a few more pointers from you as well. So is it okay if any one of them contact you?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to sharing.
If that's the case, I will include your email address so that anyone, whether it's on their marketing enquiries or they want some advice from you, or whether it's
is this a coffee session?
Yeah, anything, right? Starting a business, buying a business, or whatever not, they will contact you directly.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah. So let's say if you enjoyed today's video, look forward to our next video, which we will be sharing with you more entrepreneurs who has experience in acquisition and selling of businesses as well. Thank you.